Legion TD daily cast. So we have Widderson and Bonny playing together against Babelfish and Xualai. So Babelfish and Xualai is a newly formed team for the Diamond Division of League House League. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up. So sorry if you don't catch this in time to know, but I mean, I think there's only 2 spots left now. But still, if you are interested, be sure to sign up if you see that in time. And so, let's see the starts. We have Babelfish going for Sky Queen start. Here, Xualai going for a Crusher start. Bonny going for the Windhog start. Everybody receiving a King up, so the Windhog is perfectly safe here. And Bounty Hunter start from Widderson. So Widderson does have the Steed to accompany it. You don't want to ever invest into that because it makes you super weak in the early game. So let's see what they decide to do. Sky Queen, pretty much the safest start there is in the game right now. And while the waves are cleared slowly by the Crusher, let's see the Legion spells that will be of importance on wave 11. We have 2 aggressive spells and a Aura of Protector. So I think we will see some action on 11 and 12 if the game reaches that point. I do believe that with a Sky Queen in the game, you should be able to reach that point. And 11 and 12 is pretty much the ways you want to make use when you have a Kingpin. Alright, so no Send Zone 2. We have our Tempest here, so it will be Flying Force on Bonny, which means it is Tempest plus Windhog. Pretty much the only 2 units of importance in that build. You still want some tanks all around to protect some of the weakest waves, such as 7, 8, and then the boar is just perfect also for later to buy time for the Tempest and the Violets. So everybody at 5 workers now, nobody risking to 6 because they only received a 20 on wave 1. We have the income sends on wave 3 for both Babel and Xualai. Very slow clear from Xualai, but yeah, income sends all around on wave 3. Let's see what we are going to see as leaks or not. I don't really like the positioning from Xualai because normally you want the Crusher to tank a bit more, so you probably want your Buckler further down. But on range wave, that's better, of course, but I think in the long run, it's better to have it a little bit further down so that you can have a shared aggro. Tempest on the wall as well. Interesting. Splitting the wave with RP here, reducing the distance here, but doing a better tanking job in the long run for the early game. You would still need to put that tank here later. Oh no, not even. Maybe here. Yeah, I don't really like how it plays it because this could have been a hold on Babelfish if the PB was just on the other side here. But we do have the sun leaking as well, 50%. But Xualai is also leaking while Bonny is holding. So I think this could have been a easy hold for Babel. Just misposition of the PB here. You don't have to split that much here. This might be too far down or just too far down. Too far up or too far down. Because you don't want that much on that PB. That's for sure. But Babelfish going to 7 workers. He will be the highest worker. He's going for income. Bonny as well. And the lizard is just food for Bonny here. He will be able to hold and possibly push to 8 workers here. I would not be surprised for him to go 8 workers, build nothing on 5, and still be fine. He needs, yeah, and Babelfish is full sending here, so this means this will be a hold from Bonny and a full push. Pretty sure about that. Xualai is also receiving a full send from Bonny, exploiting the weakness of Tempest on that wave. And looks like it will be a leak from Xualai as well. Yes, it will be a leak from him. But Bonny looking strong. Good shared aggro. it will be a hold for him. Yeah, so a leak from Xualai, not the greatest start for Xualai. And Bonny is pushing to the 8 forker here, going aggressive. But as you should, right? Because you have 3 Tempest here, good fortified damage. You got also your Windhawk to kill the boss potentially faster. You have some time with those. And, well, now do you sell 2? No, okay. You go for the pack, right? I can respect that. I mean, that's additional time if you don't sell anything, and still a good unit for next wave. Even on 7, decent tank. 8 as well. So it's really on 9 that is the issue. And since on 5 you're already strong with those Tempest, then you just need the additional time on the split. But Xualai going for 80 cent onto Widderson, but Widderson is countering also on Babel for the 80 cent. Double DT should be easily covered here with the Sky Queen. Quite interesting aggro to be fair on Babel. Never saw that. But if it works, eh? But Widderson will be able to hold here, it looks like. No more magic damage though, and oh, the bounty hunter was lower than expected here, so this might still result into a leak from Widderson. But he should clear the brute due to the early targeting, and yes he does. Now just a question, are the scorpions enough? Yes they are, and so it's a very small leak here onto Widderson. Worker count, perfectly equal. King HP, slightly in favor of Bonny and Widderson because of wave 3. And yeah, Babelfish did hold the 80 cent here while undervalued. We do have an income send from Babel and an income send from Bonny. I love how they just never send together. It's always Xualai sending to Widderson, Widderson sending to Babel, and then Babel sending to Bonny, and Bonny sending to Xualai. It's never the 4 together. Okay, so early Tempest, not really a fan of that. I think he invests too much on the side of the the Pilgrim, the Sky Queen. Just gives too much. Sorry for the sound. Let me just deal with that real quick. Alright, so we did have some leaks here from Xualai. Here the resend was enough. He did have the Leviathan, so the leak is not terrible. But the resend is leaking a bit smaller here, I do believe. Let me check. Yes, a bit smaller. And now we have Bonny and Widderson sending together now. So the high worker of Bonny pushing aggressively because he received the income send here and held it. He has a Tempest, he has the Violet, very strong on both 7 and 8, as well as 9. So he can push aggressively without any fears. He's not that far under as well. So he's trying to press the advantage here to use his power spike in the Leviathans and Violet build. Alright, so I will expect Xualai to be holding here. He needs to push aggressively to make use of his power spike, which is not as strong as the one of Bonny though. He's not strong on wave 9, so this can cause some issues. What is this? We do have a leak from Babel as well, while being close to value. And that's the split we're talking about here. It's like, it's not really intuitive, sorry. So it can result into stuff like that. Yes, it was a big send, but still, I do think it could have been a bit better here. Like early Leviathan, buffing only one unit, not really what you're looking for. Probably looking for more arcane defense, or maybe even like this is 280 gold. Yeah. Then this could have been a Lost Chieftain, which would have been a much better. But Xualai is holding for his teammate. But Bonny is far ahead in workers now. And now it's just a question of, is the mole on 8 the correct move? When you see that, you probably say no. And against Bonny, yes, the mole can be effective, but the leak from Babel was just too big to make anything here. But still, they are down in workers overall. They are down in value compared to the other team. But that's partly due to the Kingpin of the Widderson. But he's gonna push hard now, and you can expect 11 shenanigans now. Wave 11 should be the attention of everybody. Maybe Bonny and Widderson have enough workers to make something happen on 10, and I think it wouldn't be a bad choice for them to go 10 here. I mean, the Leviathans are good, yes, but as soon as you add a pack leader, an ogre, or a tank like a siege ram, which is not out of reach for Bonny, I believe. Yes, he leaks here, but that's just more time. It is shut down, so it's not ideal, but he's pushing hard. He is pushing very hard here. So I do expect a big tank on wave 10 to be able to... No, okay, decided to go 9 here. Interesting. Well, yeah, I can understand why, because you have the Sky Queens here, you have the Leviathans also, and we do have Babel building for this wave, while we have a wave 10 preparation here. So honestly, I do not see how they hold that. I mean, the brutes are perfect against the samurai soul, and the ogre is just perfect against the low tank lines, low amount of tank line of Xualai. They are far under. Well, no, wait, Babel is over by quite a lot here. Despite just having 3 brutes. Okay, so maybe I've talked too fast here, and maybe they have a chance here. Just very hard to see when you see all those Pierce units in the back and only one fortified tank. Very hard. But here you see the crumbling as well. I hear not just no tanks whatsoever for this wave and only Pierce damage. Well, we do have a hold from Bubble, so the game goes on, and Bubble will be able to push out workers. And he did go for Ascent here on Bonny on wave 9, so he will be holding, so that's more workers for Bonny. Okay, no, he decides to not go for workers and prepare to counter those aggressive spells here. And yeah, so it will be king damage, but the ogre is down at least, so this is something going on their side. And so like going for income here on wave 10 against the Kingpin. So now Xualai and Bubble are a little bit disjointed descents here. I don't think wave 10 is a correct move against KP because the KP can just full push after that and put pressure on you for wave 12. I mean, yes, you look strong, but not against a Siege Ram on 12. But it's not like Bonny and Widderson to go out of normal sense, let's say, against builds. And so seeing a lot of pierce damage, I doubt they go 12. But it would be the correct play, I believe. To full push into wave 12 could be something very good here, especially when Widderson received the 160 cent here. So what we want to see here is Widderson full pushing, even the income. And then we want to see a 12 cent. What we want to see from Babel and Xualai is read that situation and invest more into wave 12 defense. Okay, so we do have not a full push from Widderson. There's a partial push. Oh no, okay, it's a full push, alright. We do have our full push in the end. But no aggressive spells here, no a lot of assault, so still emphasizing into the income gain. Bonny showing the Predictor will relieve some of the pressure. And now they might, yeah, okay, seeing the bunk. Vidder and Bonny might go 13. Might be a race on 13. Who is the strongest on 13? I have to say it's Bonny. There's the possibility of the Arc of Justice, of course. But the front line is just not there for Xualai. So yeah, Bonny preparing for 13. We will see our second Kingpin from Widderson. They see it's no aggressive spells, so they do not fear a 12 Sen on Bonny and Widderson, so they have the option to go 13 and race it there. I mean, they have enough Medium to break them, but it's just safer to go 13 at this point. No frontline on Xualai, and only pierce damage on Babel. So they extend the wave quite a lot though, with Widderson. And wait. This is a leak from Widderson, so this might incite some sense on that wave. I don't know if what it was intentional or not. I don't believe it was. There was a no sense, so he was expecting to hold here. But with this leak, it is very dangerous to skip the following wave. But luckily for them, they know it's not an aggressive spell. There is. Babel have a lot of Methium, and we do have Bonny and Widderson going for 12 Sen in the end. Not the sense I was expecting here. I would have much preferred to see a Ram, at least from Widderson. But investing into Harpies, I must say I don't dislike that either. Because if you see, there's a lot of fortified in nature. And paired with a pack leader, the damage from him just go off the roof. But I do think that Siege Ram was probably a better play. But I think it was last second decision because they weren't. I don't think they were planning on that leak from Widderson. But Babel and Xualai are saving their Mythium, so this is possibly their way back if they are holding. It's all on Babel and partially on Xualai, of course, but there's way more pierce damage on the side of Babel. And it looks like it will be too much for them to handle. The Leviathans are dying. There's only one Sky Queen from Babel. And the Sky Queen is not thinking it's now leaking. But and for Xualai, we do have a decent clear. Does that kill them or not? 64, 65? Doesn't seem like it kills them. It would be very close if it does. But I just think there's... I mean, the Ogre, the Imps, the Pack, all of those stuff is good against the King. But let's see. I do think they will survive, but we have very low King HP. Okay, not that low, like 20%, 23, okay, 22%. They are alive. Income sends on Bonny and Widderson. Bonny is looking quite good here, so I don't think you will see a leak from Bonny. And Widderson, I mean, he has a Kingpin, but what else? Well, he has 600 gold, so let's see what he decides to do with that 600 gold. He will be on value, but only pierce damage. Okay, MPS Orchid. Boosting the Orchid. So let's see if this is enough to make a leak on Widderson and Bonny and possibly get some shutdown go. The income sense will not leak. Both Xualai and Babel. At least I don't think so. It should not. While on the other side we do have Widderson holding. And we do have a hold as well on Bonny. So they are in commanding. Wait, no. We do have a leak here from Widderson, so the shutdown, a bit of gold on the side of Xualai and Babel, but this is just not enough. Because you see the worker difference now. Babel and Xualai, 19 and 18 workers. Then we have 23 and 25 workers on Bonny and Widderson. So do they decide to go for 15 now? I think they skip 15. I mean, they have so much medium, they can do whatever they want, right? But if they want to close it commendingly, nah, okay, no. Widderson is too weak on 15 to skip it. I mean, they need to respect that Babel and Zulai might have pushed too. So, yeah, with the push here from Bonny and Widderson after income, it has to indicate they want to go for 15. Protect Widderson with this wave and protect and trying to leak them pretty hard. So they will try for that. What will they send? I mean, the sends are massive. Probably a Siege Ram, but Shaman is not terrible for Bonny. But I think the Siege Ram is kind of necessary for Widderson to leak Babel on 15. So let's see. Okay, Shaman in the end from Widderson, and probably spam little units at front, while there is 4i on the other team. Alright. But Widderson did not full send before income. So trying to get something big to accompany that. And it needs to be an answer for the Hades. So it's probably doesn't get a witch, does he? No. No, he doesn't get a witch. So I honestly don't know what he plans to send. Yeah, he realizes that he just needs to send stuff. I think his plan was the witch, but he was just a bit too far off. But massive sense here nonetheless, 480 on Babel and 540 on Xualai. Yes, there's the Phoenix on Xualai, but nothing much more. But wait. This is incredible from Babel. Very far under, but he will be able to hold that. And that's why I thought the Siege Ram was important, because he clears so much of the waves so fast. So we have a hold from Babel, we do have a leak from Vidder, and we do have a leak from Xualai. Will it be enough in the middle to cover? It will be enough to cover the boss, I believe. We do have the Hades tanking a little bit, and the Sky Queen dealing damage to help them. One dragon is not the right one though. So it does not clear the boss, but the boss is one hit away from death. And the king trolled a little bit, but still fine. Alright, so they survive. Very good hold from Babel. Now they need to try something out. They cannot go 17, that's the problem. They needed, like 16 was the window to send, but they were forced to send on 15 to try and hold themselves. And now it's pretty much a battle of who's the strongest on 17. And Widderson and Bonny not looking weak next wave. But they did full push here. And Xualai did full push, but Babel did not push a single worker. Yeah, that is a full push from Xualai. And we will have a lot of Samurai Souls. And so a lot of time for those 80s to do damage despite it an arcane defense wave. So is this the correct play here? Widderson and Bonny are very far ahead in workers, of course, but they sacrifice a bit of value for that. So we'll see. Alright, so we do have a hold from both Xualai and Babel. Babel going for the Shaman. Not sure about that decision. You need something to deal with those boars, and Shaman doesn't seem like the correct answer, but I might be wrong. We do have Widderson going for triple Ogre. Try to deal with those Samurai Souls as fast as possible. Really love the sound. A Ram from Bonny. I mean, yeah, it helps against those Leviathan, but you increase their damage output. Okay, it's not a full suicide here from Xualai. You just want to cover a bit more in the end. Now, from Babel, it's a question of how those does and how those tanks. That's pretty much the thing, and he needs to hold the longest. But I mean, is there a leak on the other side with that kind of sense? Those kind of sense? I mean, I don't know, but Xualai will not be holding, that's for sure. So that's something. The ogres are taken care of by the Leviathans here, so there's still a chance for Babel to do very well here. But on the other side, Bonny's not leaking, and Widderson is not leaking at all. And we do have a whole leak from Babel in the end, not having the best units here. So very, very controlled game by Bonny, and Widderson recognizing that they are very strong on 17 and pressuring 17 themselves. Oh wait, Widderson leaking the send, giving them away the gold. But yeah, in the end was very controlled and recognizing what is their strongest wave and forces in the strongest wave by pushing a lot of workers. So very well played after 15 by Bonny and Widderson, recognizing that they cannot receive something on 16, and so pushing aggressively, knowing they're strong on 17 with the boars, with the kingpins. There was little to no chance of leaking Bonny on that wave with the units he had. But yeah, I mean, some very good holds here on 15 by Babel, despite being undervalued. Also on 13 was impressive. Like wave 12 was just because of the Pro League here from Widderson. I don't think it was intentional. I do think the initial plan from Bonny and Widderson after seeing the Protector was in the end 13 because the sends were not optimal, I believe, for wave 12. So I do believe it was a last second call. But I can be mistaken. Maybe they planned it all along. But at first sight, that was the impression I had that they did not plan the leak from Widderson on wave 11. And yeah, the early game was a little bit shaky. I do think the positioning from Babelfish can be good in the later stages of the game, but not in the early game. The early game is pretty much protect your harpy with a diagonal, increase the DPS of your harpy through that diagonal, then share the aggro later on, and you don't want that much on the side of the harpy. You want just a little bit, tank a little bit, snipe those, and allow the Sky Queen to join up afterwards when this tank partially tanked. And if this tank dies, then you have the extra walking distance from the wave to go back to your main wave. So it just buys a bit more time. But I think it's just too early for that. And it was a little bit shaky in the execution. So on that, gonna say thank you and see you next time.